BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Welcome back to another episode of Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. My name is Ken Clark, and today we have another special guest. We have Mr. Jaheem Hazel from Jack State football team. Jaheem, welcome to Tiger Talk. How you doing, buddy?
Thank you for having me, man. I'm doing well.
Good deal, man. So we appreciate you for coming on Tiger Talk. We've had quite a few of your teammates come on, and we try to get as many of you guys in the room and sit down with us before the season started. But hey, man, the season then got kicked off week 0. We went down to Atlanta, had a really good showing down in Atlanta versus South Carolina State. We thought the team did really well. But speaking to you directly, how do you feel you did, and how do you feel the team did?
I felt like I had a pretty good game, pretty solid. Left a couple plays on the field. But as a team, I felt like we gave a glimpse of our true potential and how good we can be throughout the season. You know, we wanted to start in Atlanta and finish in Atlanta.
That's right, man. That's the cliche that the no swag team has been able to actually accomplish, man. So we feel like we got a really good chance, and I love it, man. We got the first part done though. Now we got we got 12 more other games, and like I said, we won't get into too many specifics in regards to the games. I know you guys are preparing for your second game, which is week 1 versus FAMU, and that's going to be a tough one down in Miami. So any thoughts on that, and then we'll get into specifics about you.
Really, we gonna roll them out tomorrow and see what they're really about as far as like getting into the film. But I don't know, man. It's my first one. I'm kind of taking it game by game, but just to be in Miami playing in the Orange Bowl Classic, I think it's gonna be a special one, man. I'm kind of excited, very excited actually.
Good deal, man. So, like I said, looking forward to it. I think it'll be a great game. Like I said, we really, as fans, enjoyed the outcome. I know Coach TC and staff have done a great job of getting you guys prepared, and we couldn't be more proud. So, but again, we want to talk about Jaheem Hazel. Is it Jaheem?
Yeah,
Or is it
Jaheem Hazel. Jaheem Hazel.
I don't know why I'm getting horrible with names, man. But I always like to enunciate names. My name is a little challenging, but I go by Ken for short. But nevertheless, let's talk about some more specifics in regards to you, man. Like, so you come to us, you transfer in from Wofford. What's your where's your hometown at? So I know you Jackson, Mississippi is where you living now. But let's get into some of the background of Jaheem, man. Where you from, and let's talk about your upbringing and everything.
I'm from beautiful South Carolina. Come from a good family. There's actually a lot of us, as far as my siblings. But I played high school football at Well Branch. Um, then I played at Wofford. You got
So let
a
me ask you this though.
oh,
Let me ask you this. And I ain't mean to cut you off. You for South Carolina, man. So how did it feel playing against South Carolina State, given that you're from South Carolina? Did you get a little bit more extra motivation going into that game, or just speak to that? I know Irv, your teammates from South Carolina as well, as he transferred also from Wofford. So we definitely want to capture that, but I'll let you speak on that real quick.
yeah, it was good because it's more so like putting a different light on our city. I would say we got a lot going on right now, and just to have people in the same position that you know, like it's a small town, so it's like we know everyone, so you kind
Right,
of know
right.
people's struggles and what they go through. So I think it was just a good thing for the city just to see like yeah, we got people out here doing the right thing. And as far as going against South Carolina State, my first game at Wofford was actually against South Carolina State, and
Wow.
we lost that game. So it's like for my first year and for my last year, I played them for the first game, and this time we was able to win. And I will say they overlooked us during recruitment. I didn't have an offer from them, so I guess
Wow.
that's how. Yeah.
Hey man, I appreciate that. I like I said, you know, when you see the relation. So let me get this straight. Irv is from Buford as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did get a chance to interview Irv, but I didn't remember if it was exact. That's right though. So I had a chance to talk to his family as well. But that's pretty cool, man. For you to have your first game at Wofford was against South Carolina State, and then now your first game at Jackson State against South Carolina State. That's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool stuff. So when you say you play high school ball, what went into kind of your decision? I know you say you made it get an offer there, but was Wofford one of many offers, or was it just one of the offers that you felt was the best offer for you?
Um, I had about seven offers coming out of high school. I had an offer from Liberty and Navy. That was like FBS schools,
Yeah.
and a lot of interest. But me and Herb kind of decided we were going to do the whole college thing together from the start. Um,
Wow.
and he committed first, and then I didn't know how I felt honestly at first, but then we made the decision based off like the best education, and we both did ended up staying there 4 years, graduating with our degrees, so it worked out for the best.
That's a good point, man. When you really get into, just we didn't know that. We didn't know that. You and Irv actually started at high school together and wound up going to the same college, and you know. But congratulations to both you and Irv getting your education, getting your degree, and then transferring over to Jackson State. We'll jump right into it because this is Tiger Talk. So, did that part of playing with Irv and coming up as childhood friends and playing on the same team, was that the thing that factored in the most, and you maybe committing to Jackson State after you entered the portal? Or was it what were some of the things you were looking at in relation to choosing your next college?
Me and Irv actually cousins.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of the guys play ball together, but like we just a few in particular stuck it all the way out. But as far as coming to Jackson State, if you want to be honest, that was my only offer coming out of the transfer portal. So I didn't
Wow.
really have like a hard decision.
Hey, well, we glad, man. We glad that Jackson State made the offer. We're glad that you're a Tiger, man. And I think we got a lot of questions about, Jaheem Hazel. So I think this is a great interview. It's just going to be real timely because, we know. I always say, Jaheem, that, and maybe you can give me some perspective on this. I always say that cornerback is the toughest position in football, in my opinion, because I think that's the one position where you're always going backwards. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like every play you're in reverse when everyone else is kind of going forward, looking for that collision. With doesn't matter what position you play, the game is played going forward. But cornerbacks are the one position where you're kind of out there on your own, and and man, to see your technique and everything was it's pretty impressive to see. So like I said, we're pretty happy that you became a JSU Tiger. Now, in speaking of your recruiting though. Um, let's talk about your recruiting visit. I know you had a chance to make a visit to Jackson, and just kind of wanted to get your first impression when you made it to Jackson, Mississippi. Was this your first time coming to the SIP?
yes, yes. I didn't know what to expect. I always seen that it was a great environment, a great atmosphere, and that's what I said. Well, what I believe is the best thing about it is just like the the love that people actually have for Jackson State all around the city and worldwide.
Absolutely, man. Um, I know we really Jackson State really took I would say with our previous coach, we really were blessed with. a lot of visibility in spaces that we probably weren't used to being seen. Now everywhere you go, and I know if you're rocking your JSU football merch, it's quite noticeable. When I travel, everyone sees that J on the hat. They see the JSU merch. They always mention, a lot of people mention our previous coach, which is okay. You know what I mean? And we embraced it. We had a great 2 years, but now, like I said, this is the TC Taylor era. But when it comes to Jackson State, right, playing in the SWAC, right, what was your I would say, were you paying any attention to the SWAC prior to you choosing Jackson State, or was it mainly kind of staying in your region, on the East Coast in South Carolina, keeping up with mainly it's MEAC country? So were you paying attention to any of the HBCU football prior to getting that offer from Jackson State?
Um, I wouldn't say like yes or no. It's like I go like we watch football, but South Carolina State was definitely like more like in the view. I say. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know too much about the SWAC. Well, I didn't know too much about the SWAC conference, and
Okay.
I didn't know too much about the MEAC. Honestly, we played in the SoCon, so
Yep.
it's like a couple teams I asked them about, but it's like for the most part, people kind of just tend to whatever conference they're in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you got this offer, you know, Irv is actually committed. I know he was committed prior to your visit. And so how'd that conversation go? Is he, now that we learned that Irv Mulligan is your cousin and you get this offer from Jackson State, how'd that conversation go? And how'd your family feel about the offer to Jackson and the conversations that you had about finishing your career over here as a Tiger?
I mean, everybody was just like, it's gonna be big. Like, I wish I could capture just like the amount of phone calls or text messages I got from the game. It was just like it's bigger than football, really.
Yeah.
So, and then it's like I'm around my people, so it's also different. Like it just feels different playing here.
Hey, you know what's so funny, man, is that, and it's not funny. It's just it's a common thing. We love it because look, we from Jackson, Mississippi. You know what I mean, and we consider Jackson a very small, intimate community as well. Even though it's the capital city of Mississippi, we can relate to your story in a sense. But we understand, you know, we know what Jackson State football is and what it means to the city of Jackson. And it's always cool to see new Tigers come in and be embraced by the culture, be embraced by the community, and to just see the excitement and having a chance to talk to some of the families and just seeing them from all different parts of the country was just a sight to see, man. So that it does my heart some good to hear you say that. And I know everybody's tuned in. Like I said, hey, how many times have you played on ABC, man? In week 0, 1.3 million viewers. You know what I'm saying? All tuned in to watch you play football, man. And actually a sellout crowd. I mean, Jackson State Tiger Nation showed up, showed out. It was loud. Hopefully the atmosphere was impressive to you. Let's talk about the atmosphere and what I know what you expected possibly, but how did what you expect about playing in front of the Jackson State crowd? Because listen, wherever we go, we're gonna take over. You got to
Right.
know that. We're gonna take over now. So we get a lot of players that say, "Hey, man, this is the largest crowd I've ever played in front of." But what was your thoughts about the expectations versus what actually transpired in the game itself?
It was amazing, man. Like it wasn't. I could barely hear myself. I'm trying to communicate with E. We got to do hand signals because I can't hear nothing he's saying. So it
Yeah.
was definitely lit, and I loved every second of it. And then like it wasn't hard to just stay like with that poise throughout the whole game. I would say like the crowd kind of helped you stay up and like stay focused, even like when the score was kind of out of reach in the
Mm-hmm.
game like that.
Good deal, man. So now that you like I said, now that you're in Jackson and now you started the season, let's talk about how you feel about your actual team and your position group. I know you guys are we got a really I think a really good core of DBs. How well have you been gelling with your teammates and what do you feel about the entire DB room as a whole?
I mean, I I know for sure we have the best defensive back group, probably in FCS football,
Wow.
and I do believe that is. I mean, we got the best receivers as well. Um,
Yeah. Iron sharp as iron, right?
right, so it's like we going against the best every day at practice. It's up to us about how good we can be, and as far as like the chemistry, all the guys fit. We all fit well together, and we all do our 111.
Hmm. Is there anything, Jaheim, that has maybe surprised you? You know, that you probably, you're going into a situation, you're in a town, in a state, at a school, like I said, in a different culture. You know, Wofford is way different than Jackson State. We all know that. And Beaufort, South Carolina is not Jackson, Mississippi. So you're in a different environment. Is there anything that surprised you the most about your transition over to Jackson and then being a part of this team?
I want to say it's nothing that like had me like too surprised or shocked. I don't think it's for the most part. I feel like it's sort of the same everywhere. Like you kind
Okay.
of find like what you used to in every place, like things that you're familiar with. So I didn't feel like out of place or shocked by anything. Um, I would say y'all got some good food down here. I do love the food.
Man, ain't no place like home, man. I don't live in at home anymore, but man, I sure do enjoy when I do get to come home, man. So, and I think I speak for all the fans when we say, man, we got to wait 4 weeks, to actually get a first home game. So it's okay,
Right.
we starting on the road and it's tough, but Coach TC takes over. It's his first time as a head coach, and we couldn't be more proud of him. Yet and still. He just looked like he was ready to play, man. I mean, just watching him get you guys prepared, the pregame speech and all that good stuff, seeing him come out of the tunnel. How has it been for you transitioning to Jackson State and playing under Coach TC Taylor? What's your thoughts on Coach TC and how you feel about, the head coach?
I feel like what Coach TC has done with the program is just amazing because it's I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's almost impossible to have a like up here you got a vision and have every part of your organization commit to that one vision. And I feel
Mm,
like that's where we at right now. Like
that's powerful, man.
everyone's on the same page from the top to the bottom. So that's how we making it work, and that's how we gonna be successful.
Man, I would have to say that warms my heart up. I think I've been close enough to see, glimpses of what you're talking about, but see, you're giving it to us from a vantage point that only a player that's on the team could give it to you from, and understanding, being a part of another program and seeing it in the way that you've seen it in times past. But um, Coach TC is a staple, man, and he's definitely been very impressive on the job and taking over, even in the way that he's had to take over. Kind of got dealt a very challenging hand for some, but he took it masterfully and got to hit the ground running. Built a great staff, recruited the best class in all of HBCU football. Some say the second in FCS. We like to say the first, but I think that recruiting rankings don't matter. It comes down to how the game plays out. So that's good stuff, man. Good stuff. So let's get into some more some measurable stuff, and then we'll get ready to close it out. I know a lot of people that watch for us, I guess us football nerds, we like to get into the specifics. When you're sitting in the stands, I know people can just go straight to the website and get your height and weight, but they always like in your own words, kind of speak to your height, weight, playing style, and then we'll get into kind of a favorite player that you tend to try to pattern your game after.
Okay. Um, 6 foot 190. Physical corner. I feel like uh, I cover my coverage is also like the best part about me. Like I don't really worry about myself in coverage too much. But I also, like I said, like I still try to play a physical brand of football. Like it's not just about going out there getting interceptions, pass deflections. I
Mhm.
still come up, smack guys in the mouth. But our front seven just so good. I didn't really have any chances to get anybody on the ground during the game.
Yeah.
Um, and as far as like corners, I really try not to monitor my game after no one, but I'll say Javarius Ward, Mooney Ward for the 49ers. He like
Wow.
he a physical corner, kind of lengthy, but he really play like physical, get hands on, and he's always in a wide receiver's grill, or like a Jair Alexander.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a trivia because this is gonna be funny because Zoe and I and Zoe, when Zoe watches this interview, Zoe is also a part of the Tiger Talk crew. He's gonna know why I'm saying what I'm saying. You mentioned Travarius Ward with the 49ers. Um, Travarius Ward, and I think his family's from the same hometown as Coach TC, from that
Mm.
same county, from Macomb, Mississippi, man. So Pike County. I know he's from Pike County, and yeah, that's it's funny that you mentioned that. I think we're gonna get a real good chuckle about that. Really good cornerback, man. I love his game, and those are some two really good player comps. I think when you look at the the way the game is played now, the ability for offenses to spread out defenses in such a way. Um, what are your thoughts on Coach Mo Harris's offensive scheme? Is that has the different looks been able to prepare you guys, your position group, at probably being prepared for anything that you think a team can throw at you? What's your thoughts on that, and what you've had to defend throughout practice, without giving too much? Just kind of your thoughts on what you've been up against, along with the wide receiver core that you've had to defend in practice.
Um, I don't want to get it wrong, but I believe our offensive model is a fundamental, efficient scoring machine. If
That's
I'm
exactly
all
right.
right, all right, all right. But yeah,
I've
that's
heard people say that. Yeah.
explosive plays and her pace offense. So that's what we deal with. Deep balls and hurry up. So that kind of got us. But then you got to think about the guys that they brought in. Like you
Yeah.
know, everyone's everyone's that guy on our team. So it's like you can't take a rep off in practice. So the game will be easy. And I feel like Coach Harris, my coach personally, they put certain stuff in there just to make sure we stay on our P's and Q's and we don't fall asleep throughout the week in the same looks in the game prep. So yeah.
But speaking of coaches, and we'll get ready to close this one up. What's your thoughts on your position coach, Coach Quinn? Let's talk about him and your relationship with him, and um, his coaching style, and what you like the most about playing under him.
Um, he treat you like a pro, you know.
Hmm.
Um, and to a certain extent, it's like you will be as good as you want to be playing for him,
Hmm.
and it's like you kind of make that. Um, you build your relationship, um, and he's a great guy. I enjoy being around him. I think we all do,
Okay.
but he's probably the most smartest coach I ever had.
Wow.
I'm gonna be honest. I had some pretty
That's
good
impressive.
coaches. So when my coaches see this, I had some pretty good coaches, but I it's just no one that broke the game down to me like that. As far as looking at it from an offensive standpoint, like you
Wow.
know,
That's impressive, man. Hey, listen, um, the best compliment you can get is from a player that actually plays for you, because I played basketball, Jaheem, and I always tell everyone, even though I had a decent high school career and I think I knew how to hoop, right? I tell anybody, man, my junior college coach, I didn't learn how to play basketball until I went to junior college, because the way he just taught the game. And it's stuff that even when I see my teammates, and here we are in our 40s now, man, we still, that stuff is stuck in us forever. You know what I mean? So you get those coaches along your journey that just kind of you mesh with, and that's pretty
and
impressive. Go ahead.
another thing I'll say is like it's to the point to where like it's like you won't understand it unless you go and get into it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you ever had like something like someone just like it's like a cliffhanger. They just lead you on, then it's like, oh, you don't know what I'm talking about because you're not there yet. You know,
Mm.
so yeah, so it he
It
definitely
sets
keep
you up
me in
for
my
that.
paper.
In other words, it sets you up for that light bulb moment. When that
Right,
bulb, you're like, okay.
like it's more than just doing it. Like understand why we doing it, know why we doing it. You know, so I can be able to fix certain things. You know, like in all our coverages, we should be able to fix every look just in base coverage.
Mm,
All right.
I love it.
So get everyone like on that page, then how could we be beat? You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
And that's like the goal in our is to get everyone with a great football IQ.
Absolutely, man. I think that's some pretty good stuff to kind of leave off on. I'll get you this before we close out. Heading down to Miami, and then you get to play at Hard Rock Stadium, and then you go over to Baton Rouge to play that school that we don't mention. Follow that up with Texas State in San Marcos, and then you get to come home and play in the largest stadium in all the FCS, the biggest crowd in all the FCS. Give us your thoughts on the excitement level of getting through this 4-game road stretch, but that first game, that WC Gordon Classic, and playing in front of the vet, playing at home,
I
and
really think I really think you should invite me back on the show after, man, so I can
I
give
sure
my
will.
feel. But I'm looking
We
forward
will
to it.
do it.
It's like a living legend, man. I just hear about it. You know, when I ask about it, people just look at me like they don't even want to tell me. They just want me to experience it. So I'm just waiting on it, man. Honestly, I'm excited though.
Hey, we'll definitely. I'm positive we'll have you back on, and hey, for that reason, we probably have to have everybody back on that has
Yeah.
experienced it for the first time. Because I'll say this, and we'll go ahead and let you drop your social so everybody can follow you. But we got 4 really solid games. We got Bethune-Cookman coming in. That'll be our first home game with, like I said, the WC Gordon Classic, and then we have homecoming, which we already know homecoming is going to be epic versus Alabama State. And then the next game is against Texas Southern, which is going to be a really sought out game. But the last game of the season at home is the Soul Bowl against Alcorn. I think it's going to break. I think it's going to do numbers, in my honest opinion. So it's going to be exciting to see, man. We'll we'll try to space it out and make it as interesting as possible as far as having you back on. And but before we get out of here, one last thing. We always ask you to address Tiger Nation. Anything you want to share? Anything you want to say to Tiger Nation? I know the season has started, but we'll let you close it out with a word and then drop your social.
Uh, I just want to say be on the lookout, man. I plan on making plays all year. This was just a little glimpse. Definitely gonna catch the picks next time, man. So I want to say, I want to apologize to Tiger Nation for having y'all on y'all feet and not coming down with the ball. I
Hey,
want
you know what? Since you said that, I saw Coach Quinn on the field after the game. Coach said, "Man, we just got to catch them picks, man." We had a bunch of them that slipped through. One of them, I think that was you when your teammate was that Solomon that y'all kind of
yeah,
running
yeah.
each other. So it was, but hey, it's the first game, man. I think at the end of the day, it's better to be talking about that than to be talking about a pass being caught from by the
Mm.
other team. So we'll live with it. Go ahead and drop your social so everybody that doesn't follow.
Um, y'all can find me on I believe if you just type in Jaheem Hazel on Twitter and Instagram, you'll be able to find me. But my IG is Freak Show J, just the letter J at the end. And my Twitter is the real underscore Mighty J, just the letter at the end.
There it is. There it is. Jaheim Hazel. He's number 3, everybody, for those that don't know. On defense, number 3. I actually had somebody ask me about the dual numbers. If you look on offense, that's Duke Miller. But if you look on defense, that is Jaheim Hazel, plays cornerback for our very own Jackson State Tigers. Jaheim, thank you for coming on the Tiger Talk, man. We will definitely have you back on after you get that first vet experience, bro. But good luck to you this weekend. Good luck to you for the rest of the season. Much success to you, brother. Go
Thank you.
Tigers.
I appreciate you having me, man.
Yes, sir. All right, brother. Take care.
All right.
Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club is presented by Bet Online.